everybody? We are back with the Growing Pains podcast. As always, I'm Big Z here with Jordan.
Yes,
and we
sir.
got two very special guests here today. We got Nay and Luke. What's going on, guys?
Standing on couches in the building. How you guys doing?
Going on, man? Thank you for having us.
Yeah, man, of course. So we just talked for a while before the podcast, so, we know a little bit about each other now.
Yeah.
Got a little comfortable, but we'll go into a little bit about each of you, and then we'll go into, the company, and we'll go from there. But
Things are going.
where'd you guys grow up? I don't know, Luke, you want to start? You can.
So I grew up in Blackwood, went to Highland High School, and lived here basically my entire life. Now I live in Deptford. Business operates in Philly mainly, but
Okay.
From Blackwood originally.
Okay,
Right.
yeah, that's where I live at now. What about you?
Yeah, same. I grew up in Lindenwold for a little bit, and then my family moved to Blackwood. I also went to Highland, and now I currently reside in Philly.
Okay.
Like he said, where our business mostly operates. So
What part of Philly you in?
I'm in Northern Liberties.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
like Marky's in Northern Liberties,
yeah?
right? Yeah, I think he's right by there.
It's like Front Street, right by the water.
You guys
Yeah.
all I know this is just half the crew here.
right?
But you guys all grew up in Blackwood?
My brother, who's also obviously part of the team, he grew up in Blackwood. Our other member, Brian, he's from North Jersey.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
He'll tell you New York.
He gonna say
but- He gonna tell you New York, but it's not New York.
New
You know it's not
Jersey.
New York.
Shout out DJ Luca. Shout out DJ Luca.
So did you guys all grow up like together, like because you both went to Highland, right?
Yeah.
So you guys grew up together. You've been friends since
Yeah.
how long back?
We've been friends since middle school.
Yeah, 7th grade.
Oh, wow,
probably.
yeah.
We got, us two, my brother, a lot of other close homies. And we've known each other 15, 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
One of my homies just had his birthday just passed, but we went to kindergarten together.
Oh wow.
So
yeah.
so we still locked in.
Shout out Tyson, Ray,
Yeah.
Mikkel,
Yeah.
Okay.
the homies.
All the friends from the sandbox.
nah,
That's cool. Though. A lot of people don't have those connections.
Now without them, really, everyone, a lot of our friends always support everything. So
That's all.
And like you
Yeah.
said, like a lot of people don't have that connections. Like it's dope that like we can sit here and say that we got 6 best friends that we've known for 10 plus years,
Yeah.
15 plus years that, they're obviously like brothers to us. And that's like a luxury nowadays. Cause,
Yeah, for sure.
a
Yeah.
lot
I
of people
probably
don't
have
You don't come by
3
that
or
much.
4
Right.
friends that because like I said, I grew up in Reading, so now living out here, like I rarely see like my friends. Now I got like a whole new group of friends, which I
Mhm.
feel like growing up, going to high school, college, and things like that. Once everybody moves away, you kind of lose all those connections.
Right.
So it's dope that you guys are all,
yeah,
still like one unit.
super fortunate.
And it helps with, sorry to cut you off, and
No,
it helps
you're
with business too, because like some people say like don't miss business with friends and family, but like I feel like that.
I think it's way stronger.
Right.
You got
Yeah.
a way stronger bond. You guys are all fighting for the same thing.
Exactly.
Like, you all want the same thing. I agree completely.
right, and even if like I didn't want it as much, but you didn't want it as much, but you're my friend, you're going to put that much more effort,
Right,
Because
yeah.
you love me,
Absolutely. You
follow
see
me.
their vision, and that's what
Yeah.
you want that vision. So
That's how it is with me and him too. Because
Yeah.
like everybody has off days, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But like
for sure.
I have off days. He's like, yo, snap out of that shit. Like,
Yeah.
come on, we trying to get
Well,
breaks. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
and that's
exactly.
what-
so it's good to have like that connection. Whereas like just a business partner isn't gonna really pull you
Nah,
up
they're not
like
going,
that.
exactly. They're not
Yeah.
really locked in with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's why
yeah.
I think it works us as
100%.
well as it does is because
What'd you guys do growing up then? So you met in like 7th grade. Do you guys play sports or?
Yeah, so I played basketball basically my whole life. Played basketball in college also. Basketball was my passion, and then I figured that it was money somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I like to do is have a good time, make my people have a good time,
Yeah.
and then figure, why not start my own business and do something that I love.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
Obviously,
It's
get
dope.
paid for something that I love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't beat that.
You played sports and stuff, or
I played basketball. I wasn't as good as him.
He was
but-
good?
Yeah, he knows.
could have went to the league?
Yeah,
That's it.
Um,
I was 6'3".
Yeah.
but same thing. I mean, like I said, when I got 9 to 5. That's what I do outside of this. But it's a passion. Yeah, like the hospitality, just learning the business, and kind of just.
Yeah.
I like having a good time, but I also like trying to provide a good time for other people and
Right.
trying to
That's
provide
dope.
that service. So
So where'd you go to? You went to college for basketball? What'd you
Oh,
do
yeah,
like
for
in
basketball.
college then?
So I played, what, you mean like my major?
Yeah.
It was criminal law.
Okay.
Criminal law. But yeah, I basically went for basketball.
For
And,
basketball?
I was a little bit interested in like, the law stuff, knowing the laws. And then, so it was basically like, that was the not easiest thing, but that was the only thing that I was interested in. But my main focus was basketball.
Yeah.
Like, to get a scholarship to play, like that's really what I went to college for.
Yeah.
Like I said.
Gotcha.
Nah, that's dope.
Yeah.
You went to college. You said you're
Yeah.
kind of doing what you did in college now.
yeah, I went to Rowan. and I did business management, construction management. That's what I graduated in.
Okay.
So it's kind of what I tailored my 9 to 5 around.
Yeah.
I guess it worked out. So it's an expensive piece of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we talk about college a lot. That was what I was going to
Man,
ask
that's
next. Is just like your outlook
Yeah.
on college. Like, you think you want to push kids to go to college? You think it's like valuable, or what's your outlook
I think
on
it's
that?
very valuable. I think they sell you on a dream, though.
For sure.
And if you don't, they sell you. You basically got to figure out your whole life when you're 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think looking back, I think a lot of people should push like trades or just kind of know what you want to do, or take some time off to understand what you want to do, because
Right.
you get swallowed up in debt. You make a lot of decisions that may not be the best at that time.
Yeah.
And now you stuck to one thing, and then you might get a liberal arts degree and you just or $60,000 in debt, and you come out and what are you about to do?
Yeah.
Right.
And you about to
Agreed.
make
That's kind of how I feel
$30,000.
too.
Yeah, but I think what I'm saying, if you there's also too college is a lot of who you know, and that's real. I mean, that's life in general.
Yeah.
But it's really who you know, who you meet,
Politics.
and who they can help you, what kind of resources they have, and what they can help you out with. But I mean, if you don't really have a vision or you don't really know exactly what you want to do, I think you should take some time before you jump in college and just start taking classes and spending
Right.
money on what
For
you don't
sure.
really
Straight out of high
want to
school
do.
was kind of like,
Yeah,
when
it's
I look
tough.
back on it, like, when I came out of college or high school, it's like, I'm totally different now. Like, I feel like if I went to college now, I'd be a 4.0 student. But when I was 18 going to college,
Right.
like,
No
I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had no
No
work
way.
And they
ethic, you know
try
what
to
I
sell
mean?
you,
Like,
you know, people get different modes. Either you go for girls, you go for this. They sell
Yeah.
you on the. Everyone wants to go to the
Go for
Oregons,
basketball,
to the
you know
Florida
what I mean?
States, until you realize,
Everybody
like,
wants to
I feel
do
like it teaches you. It's like obviously, yeah, you can get swallowed in debt and money and stuff, but I feel like it also teaches you certain things about life. Like, let's just say that if you're not the most like outgoing person or personable person, or it teaches you to kind of be on your own, learn how to talk to people, learn how to show up to places on time, learn how to get work done.
Right.
yeah.
I feel like it can help you out in stances like that. But I also feel like we talked about, you need to go. You need to have you need to know what you want to do,
Yeah.
and it's hard to have that at 18. But if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer,
You have
go to
for
college.
sure, you gotta
go.
You have to go to
Yeah.
college.
College
But if you
for
want
that
to own a
stuff.
business, I wouldn't say. I mean, get more knowledge, but I wouldn't say go to college, because it's like
Yeah, don't start with college.
yeah,
somebody told me one time, it's like, why would you listen to the business professor if he doesn't own a business? Right?
Yeah.
It's a fact.
So it's like,
Yeah.
why would you
100%.
why would you listen to him? Because I think you can learn something from everyone, but why listen to somebody that's not in the position that you want to be?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's like,
It's like someone telling you how to be a millionaire. That ain't a millionaire.
Right,
Like, why are you
exactly.
taking the advice from
It's
them?
a lot of them nowadays.
Yeah, that's social media, right?
right, especially on social media.
They probably think I'm one of them.
Yeah.
You are one of them.
Yeah.
Manifestation.
Yeah, that's it. You gotta
right?
think it. You gotta think it. That's
Mhm.
I definitely agree with that.
For sure.
So, standing on couches. How did
Yes,
you come
sir.
up with the name? What is it? Tell the people kind of a little bit about standing on couches.
well, kind of. I'll give some of it and then pass it off to him. We just kind of gravitate to a name that is appealing, but also kind of you can remember it. Just kind of gives an everlasting impression. And
Yeah.
I mean, when you're out there having fun and like we were talking about earlier, like when you go out to some of these places, whatever, and you want to have a good time, you're literally standing on the couch. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
are
that's-
not
Yeah.
kidding.
That's-
Every time I go out to a club anywhere, I'm standing on the couch.
Exactly.
I've never not done it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So, and luckily, we're fortunate enough that a lot of people, we got the feedback we got from people has been like, "Oh, we really like the name," or "That's
Yeah.
super catchy," or like, "Oh, it's a perfect name for the business." So that's kind of what the name was a big thing, and
Yeah.
getting
And
down
it's kind of crazy because you hear a lot of like rappers and artists like talk about it in their
Mhm.
songs. Like
Yeah.
we got like a lot of our social media, you can see like people like when they talk about the club, they just like vicariously talk about standing on the couches. Like so we got like Chad Ochocinco was on a podcast and he was I forget whose podcast
I think
it was.
he was with talking with Dave Grutman, who's
Yeah,
like a
exactly,
big
yeah.
Miami.
Yeah.
Like,
So basically, he was like, "I would love to have the experience of what it's like to stand on the couch," and it's like very literally like that vibe. Like you're
Yeah.
in the club, you dancing, you having a good time,
Yeah.
you standing on
Mhm.
the couches, you're not sitting around. Like we feel like club culture nowadays is like not really a lot of people having fun anymore. It's people kind of just standing there, kind of just smoking, chilling. Like, and don't get me wrong, that's cool, but like.
Yeah.
If you look at clubs in like the 80s, 90s, like early 2000s, like clubs were jumping before phones,
Yeah.
yeah.
before social media.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
everyone was dancing. Nobody
Yeah.
was like trying to look cool, like trying to do none of that stuff. And I feel like that's what we're really trying to do is like bring that vibe back. because that's what people like essentially remember the most, like the time that they had.
A good memory.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I don't even, to be honest, I don't even like going to the club unless I'm standing on a couch. Like I don't want to be in PA, like
I'm
general
not
admission.
getting
And that's
General
because
admission.
the name also gives like that exclusivity or that
Yeah.
kind of like when you come out, you spend money. You know what I'm saying? You want to feel like you're in that
Yeah.
experience. You feel like you're somebody or
You're a
whatever.
big dog in the
Yeah,
building.
exactly.
Right.
So we
That's
want to
how
be able to
we
provide
rock.
that hospitality for people that when they come out, they stand on couches. So
So how does it work with standing on couches? Now somebody contacts you, they say, "Hey, what are you guys doing this weekend?" Or "Hey, can you guys get me in here?" Like, how does that work connecting with somebody that wants to, connect with you and go out and get rowdy?
So pretty much is, like you said, so we like to emphasize birthdays. So like we try and find people's birthdays. Everybody likes to celebrate, right?
Yeah.
So if we can help you celebrate, then, that our job, like that's what we want to do. I would say, like you said, just hit us up. What are you guys doing this weekend? We throw our own events. We host our own events.
Okay.
We broker private events. So if you guys wanted to throw a private event for, let's just say your birthday, but you wanted to rent the whole club or a whole event space, we would help you do that. And like you said, we would basically just contact him and myself, us through our page, or kind of just interact with our social media and just kind of pop out. That's where we are.
that's where we kind of usually we give like a weekly, monthly, whatever rundown of what we got going on for the week. So we try to stay active on posting, whether it's reels, stories.
The Instagram's popping. I've seen it. That's what I've seen it. I was like, damn, we gotta get them on the
I've known
podcast.
of you guys for months, probably almost a year now.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
just seeing everything on Instagram and
Yeah.
stuff just coming through. I see it all.
And I got to give it to Brad too. Shout out to Brad because and like the last year and a half, he kind of like let us know the emphasis on social media and the emphasis on branding and the emphasis on what your social media needs to look like and how attractive it needs to be so you can get that clientele from your social. So
Have you seen
I just
that
wanna
like
give him his
grow
flowers.
since like the Instagram started like
Nah,
popping
for
off? Have you
sure.
guys been busier?
For
or,
sure, yeah. And just because in the beginning it was kind of like you only touch a certain point. And so, I mean, we have ambassadors now, so the network grows and you just, when you're out there, people start to hear the name. And eventually, after X amount of time, you kind of start building a name and people start hearing, oh, I've heard, like how you said, I heard about San Francisco. Oh, so eventually you put in their face.
Yeah.
Hey,
And then they see you
times,
out having a good time. They're like, oh, we got to go out with those
And then
guys.
it goes back to the song thing, right? So now you listen to a song, you hear "Standing on Couches," you automatically think,
Oh, yeah, you're thinking
Yeah.
straight at that. Yeah,
Exactly.
Now it's not even like, oh, "Standing on Couches." Like, oh, now that is connected
You
to
hit
our
them
brand.
from all angles.
Yeah.
Bro.
No, it's good.
Exactly.
It's good branding. So where are you guys? I seen you post some Miami clips and things like that.
Mhm.
Where are you guys make? I mean, obviously out of Philadelphia, but are you guys expanding beyond that, or are you trying to stay in the Philly area, or what's like the big plan with expansion or things like that?
So like right now, I feel like Philly specifically is in a state where like it's like a market that's like easily to be taken over.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like you go to Miami, you think of Groot Hospitality. You think of New York, you think of Tao. You think of LA, you think of Tao. Right. You go to Philly, you hear Philly, which is, I mean, it's not the craziest city, but it has potential. Right.
Yeah.
And
It's a
when
big city.
Yeah.
right. And when you think of like, or even AC, for instance, like you don't think of like in a specific like group or specific like hospitality, like, avenue where like, oh, I know who I'm going to hit up or what page I'm going to go to or what company I'm going to think
Right.
about when I think about Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why we're like heavily focusing on this market right now because it's like, it's a market that we can take over and it's so obtainable. And then eventually, obviously, we would like to branch off to other places. Like we talked about our DJ Brian, he's from New York, so he gets some gigs up there and we kind of, do some interactions up there, throw a little bit of events up there, but like we'd like to take over the Philly market first because it's a big enough market for us to take over. So like, that's like the main goal right now, and then obviously expand out after that.
That's awesome.
Do you guys have any competitors? Well, maybe not competitors, but people that are kind of doing the same thing or no?
Yeah,
Because I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't heard of any.
Yeah,
I've
there
only
is.
ever heard of you guys.
But that's the thing
it.
is about Philly is that it's not the biggest city or whatever in terms of New York, Miami.
Right.
But we try to use that. A lot of people look at it as like a competitive, like it's standing on couches and us. We're in the same lane, but we try to look at it as we're in the same space and all collaboration benefits everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
not rocket science. We're trying to make sure that the people that come out have a good time.
Right.
So if you have your clientele, we have our clientele. Why don't we bridge that gap and figure something out? Of course, I mean, we from afar we keep an eye on what other people are doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, we think about a collaboration goes way farther than this is what I got, this is what you got, and kind of gatekeeping
Right,
it
and it's
all.
not like us versus you. It's like us versus them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
us versus consumer. Us
Right.
versus
We're all
people that are trying to
Right.
come out to have a good time.
Not every company thinks like that.
Yeah,
Nah.
for sure.
You know,
We're all
all
trying-
publicity is good publicity.
Exactly.
though,
We're all trying to
you
go
know?
after the same thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's a
Do
lot
you
of
guys
money
do a
out
lot
there.
of like collaborations with other groups or like DJs, or how's that work?
Yeah, for sure.
Everything.
Yeah.
You just open to
yeah.
well, yeah, more,
Open to
the more
whatever,
people
you
the
know.
better,
If
right?
it, right, and if it makes sense, you know, obviously, you know, we're down to do it. Like we've
Right.
collabed with DJs, we've collabed with other promotion groups, we've collabed with venues, and we're always looking to collab. So if anybody watching this and you
Hit 'em up.
think about you want to
Yeah,
reach out to us and collaborate, if you got some ideas, we're always open to listening to new ideas. We don't know everything, obviously, we don't know everybody, but
Yeah.
the goal is to, you know, do the best we can, and so definitely open for some collaborations and, you know, getting
Yeah.
creative.
If you got a birthday coming up.
Hit 'em
Yeah.
up.
My birthday was yesterday.
Really?
There we go.
Happy birthday. That's my
You got
season.
a birthday.
Thank you.
My birthday was March 3rd.
There you go. His is March
March
2nd.
2nd.
Yeah.
There we go.
Pisces gang.
Has there been any like big names that you guys have worked with yet? Anybody that you see like
Any
you have your
celebrities or
eyesight
anything
on,
like
anything
that?
like that that you
So
want to
we
work
have
with?
a collaborate or a partnership really at Roar, and this time I think around this week or maybe the week following now, last year, we had Don Tolliver come by
Okay.
Roar.
It was dope.
That's
Yeah.
Dope
dope.
ass
That
party.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
that's
So
very
he
part
actually
of
venue
performed.
with that. Yeah.
He actually performed like more than he was like supposed to. We
I
felt
think I
like,
saw it
like,
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
I think I saw it on
Yeah,
Instagram.
it was but yeah, I mean a few like whether we deal with some clubs like Noto, Roar in the city that bring a lot of talent through.
That's
We
cool.
help to either give creative outlook or kind of just help them any kind of avenue they need to
Right.
bring
Are
talent.
you guys like out and about pretty much every weekend? Is this like an every weekend thing, or do you kind of span it out through the month, take some weekends off, or you guys are just always
So
at it?
every
every
weekend.
single Friday, we at Roar, the Standing on Couches experience. Reach out to our page.
I like that.
We would love to show you guys, you know, a good time, show you how we party. But to go back to your question, every Friday we're at Roar, so we throw our party there, and then we like to keep Saturdays open because like. We got a lot of different consumers, so a lot of people like to move around. So
Yeah.
we like to move around at different venues.
Okay.
So there might be some weekends where on a Saturday we might not have something, but we might have something. But every single Friday, yes, we do have
Gotcha.
Roar every
Yeah,
single
we gotta
Friday.
come through there. Girl pays to be there for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
For
sure.
sure. We're doing,
Yeah,
we're doing
yeah.
Even too is in the space, even if we don't have an event and we just pop out, I mean, we kind of use it as like a networking.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. You
for
can
sure,
always
yeah.
meet people. Like,
Exactly,
you never know
so-
the next person you meet could be a club owner
Exactly.
just popping through, or you know
so
what I mean, opening up a new
my
club.
nightlife mentor likes to say, circulate the $20 bill,
Yeah.
right? So if I pop up to your event, you see me there.
Mhm.
It's just a small gesture, right? So
Mhm.
now you think, okay, Nate's throwing an event. He was at my birthday, or he was at my, you know, opening party, or whatever.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
you might come and, you know, pop out to one of my events, and like, you know, just
Yeah.
one hand wash the other, both hands wash
Yeah.
the face.
That's one
Very
thing that we
good.
did. Like we did a bar last week, Dolan's. The owner, I mean, he gave us drinks, like didn't
Yeah.
charge us anything like that. He has St. Patrick's Day party
Great guy.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So like we told him like we'll come by for the St. Patrick's. Same
Yeah.
thing, you know what I mean?
Little
Like
gestures
he came
go
on the
so
podcast,
far.
like we'll
Yeah,
come through to
kidding,
the bar.
they go far.
Nah,
Little
it really
gestures
does.
go so far.
Yeah.
You really never know who, like we were saying, you really never know. You pop out that one time, whenever you really never know who you might run into.
Yeah.
Right,
What kind of resources they have, and how it could ultimately change
How
your
many
life. It sounds
connections
crazy,
they
but I
can
mean,
pull through
you
for
never
you.
know.
conversation really,
It could really change your life.
yeah.
Especially all they gotta say is like, "Oh, I like this person," or "I like this." You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
everything changes. One thing I wanted to ask though is because I know you said you're mainly in Philly, but the DJ does some events in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a different scene? Like, what's it like in New
For
York
sure.
compared to what's it like in Philly compared to maybe what's it like in Miami? I've been to Miami, so I know it's a little wild
they're
down
like the
there.
Meccas,
But
really, that's Vegas, Miami, New
Yeah,
York,
they're the big
LA.
ones.
I never went
they're-
out in New York though. That's why I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know what
Yeah,
that's
well,
like
the
The
compared
things
to here.
about these cities are like they're heavy tourist attractions.
Mhm.
So when there's tourists, there's money, right? And then
Yeah.
when there's money, you can do a lot more with your venues, with your promotion, with your creativity, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you see a lot of these cities like have like, you know, crazy clubs, crazy parties, crazy artists coming through, crazy whatever. So like I feel like that's the reason. That's like the difference between like these places and Philly.
Yeah. Okay. No, I like because like I said, I never been. I know Miami's like top of the line.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
man.
different, bro.
It's different.
They didn't- It's so different. They didn't close during COVID.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And I feel
The
like
world
the
closed,
money's
and
there
Miami was
too.
open. bro.
Yeah, it's just
Like I don't know
Too
how
much
much is
money
a
to
section in
make.
Miami, whereas how much is a section in
we
Philly?
walk in with 4 guys. One, if we even get in with 4 guys, to be
Sure,
honest,
right.
but they might charge us $4,000 or $5,000 to. And the way they do it is you're basically renting space in the. You're not buying bottles, whatever. You're basically renting space for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
then you
kinda
got to
what
pay
they're
for
charging.
everything when you get in there.
Exactly, and it's not cheap. And yeah, it's some $4,000 or $5,000, and
So
that's
that-
what they know is New York, Miami, Vegas. They got people that got money, and like how he was saying, it's a tourist attraction. So when you come out, you're probably there for your spending. You're there to spend.
Yeah, you're
Philly
out
is a
there
little bit
spending
different
money.
market, so you gotta.
I feel like it's better for people to come to Philly though and have something like you guys, a group like that where they can contact you and it's like you're not spending 10 G's.
Mhm.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And they'll have a good time.
And we kind of also, even though it is standing on couches, we kind of offer an array of things where, yeah, you can still come out and have a good time with us, even if you're not buying this or buying that or in VIP.
Yeah.
We just try to tailor to everybody's, because at the end of the day, everyone wants to come out and have a good time. We don't want to limit that to anybody.
And it's like we want you to have a good time and want it to be memorable, right? So like if you come out with us and you had a blast, like you gonna remember that time, and maybe you got a sister or somebody that has a birthday, right? And then we the first people you think of now.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, you didn't come spend $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 with us. We showed you a good time, and now anytime that somebody wants to celebrate or
Comes
does
back around.
anything, it comes
Yeah,
right
come
back to
right
us.
back,
So
yeah.
we try to emphasize, just kind of that nightlife, that SOC experience, we like to call it,
Yeah.
just so like it comes back to us in a different array of ways.
And just like having a conversation with somebody goes a long way. Like we went down to AC for our birthday. We had like a host, obviously, because we got a section. And like he came in a section, talked to me for maybe 10, 15 minutes. But I was thinking that was like the dopest shit ever. You know what I mean? Like he came and spent his time. Like we had a good conversation. He got a kid. I got a kid. Like, and it was just like that little conversation was like, all right, like that went a long way.
Yeah.
Whereas like if I was in general admission and he came and had that conversation with me, I'd been like, next time I come down, I'm booking with this guy.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's the same
100%.
way with you guys. Like,
And it's true hospitality, really. That's what, when you're spending money, you want to feel like, you don't want to be treated like you're just a bill, basically. You want to
Yeah.
just feel
Right
like
person,
they
yeah.
actually, I'm not saying care about you, but like they take the time to, you know what I'm saying, get to know you, build a clientele, and network a little bit. Just
Right.
kind of, you never know. You might be in AC every weekend. You know what I'm saying? You might be 1-800-GAMBLER, and you go down there
I'm
every
on
week.
that.
Like,
Yes.
I legit am, yeah. No good. So what's the what do you think the future of standing on couches is? What's the ultimate goal? What do you have coming up? What do you have coming up in the future? And then we'll get to the rest of it.
the
But
end goal is to own a venue or a club of. That's kind of what we're doing this for, is build a network, build a brand, know the ins and outs of it to eventually call something our own.
Now, if you were to come across an investor that would want to invest in something like that, would you take it, or you guys want to do it like organically between you and the crew?
No,
You
So like being the people we are, we would obviously want to, but what we're doing now is like building a foundation, and because like I feel like you said, an investor can come in and put however much money, but we don't know how to run a club.
right.
So we're in the business right now to learn the management side of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when that time comes, we know what to do, because an investor can tell us to open a club. We know how to get people in the club, but it takes a lot more
Yeah.
than
a
just
lot of
getting
the
people
back
in the
end
club.
and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got inventory, you got to pay people, you got to hire people, you got to interview
For
people.
sure.
Like it's a whole system.
Yeah.
So it's like you can like easily fall. Like if that were to be the situation, you could easily fall, and that's how a lot of clubs, low key. I'm pretty sure, I just saw this stat. It was like 70% of clubs like fail, like don't even.
I think you can see it too. Like
They
there's a
don't
lot of
even,
clubs
like,
that are
make
like
it.
there and then not there. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Exactly, and I feel like it's due to those reasons. Like a lot of people like not rush into it, but it's you gotta learn everything.
You gotta build
bro.
the brand
Yeah.
first.
Right,
And
exactly.
build
you might
brand
operate on a
first.
high margin, but if you come through and I'm giving you free stuff, and they get free stuff, and they get free stuff,
Yeah,
and now
they get
I got to
much.
pay staff, and you got overhead,
Yeah.
and you just gave away probably $6,000 worth of free liquor, and you're like,
that's the thing too. Is
Yeah.
like when you guys open a club, everybody's gonna come through all of a sudden and want free shit
Oh,
at one
yeah,
time.
for
And it's
sure.
like, but wait a
That's
minute,
how
you
it
guys
always
didn't want to
works,
support
though.
when
exactly.
You know,
That's how
when
it's
we were
done.
just a
It's
small
always
town
gonna
guy.
happen
Yeah.
that way,
But so you guys want to open a club? That's the ultimate goal.
So,
That's
so
awesome.
honestly, like hospitality in general. So,
Yeah.
like lounges, clubs, bars, even restaurants. Just kind of that whole hospitable, like like array of things. Like
Somewhere you
that's
can
what
just
we
show
wanna do.
somebody it's a
Yeah,
good
it's a
time.
good time.
You know,
Yeah, you come out for dinner or whatever,
Yeah.
club, lounge,
And the
couple
thing is,
drinks.
like we love it, what we talked about, but that's what people pay for.
Yeah.
People
It
pay
is.
for that shit.
Yeah, they
like
do.
during
Yeah.
COVID, like you'd be surprised, bro. People pay their last to like do some of these things. Like which obviously
Yeah.
we don't recommend that. Obviously, like, if you have it, go out. If you don't have it, find a way to get it and
Stay
then go out.
inside.
Yeah.
But like people pay for that shit. You
They
feel me?
do.
So
For
it's like,
sure.
Or even if they don't have it, man, they're gonna come out and they're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
put on their Cartier watch and their chain, and they're gonna make sure you know, at least for the 6 hours you there, that
They might have
somebody,
it.
yeah, exactly.
They might have it.
So,
You know how that is. All of a sudden, everybody got a rollie on, a Gucci bag on.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
like, wait a minute, where'd you get that?
Did that bill come out?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we know how that is. So what's it?
We're
What's
just
it like
playing.
for-
We're just playing. We just.
What's it like for you guys though in the club? Like everybody's drinking, obviously. Like we got tuned up at the club a couple weeks ago. Like what do you guys do in the club when everybody's drinking, having a good time? Are you guys drinking with them? Or are you guys just
So like I,
looking
yeah,
Because
around?
when we go to the club, you're gonna be drinking with us.
Yeah.
So like I
You
said a
gotta
little
take
bit
an off
earlier,
night.
like if
Yeah,
it's
so
our
it's gonna be an off
if it's
night.
our event, usually we're booking tables, we're greeting people, we're getting people at the door, we're making sure our so we host sections,
Yeah.
so we're making sure our people are taken care of,
Yeah.
asking people what they need, getting them drinks, etc., answering questions, just helping people out. Like I said earlier, like we don't even really start. If the club closes at 2, we don't even really start drinking until maybe like 1:30, 1:45.
It's like a celebration drink. You
Right,
made it through the night.
Yeah.
exactly, and that's why we really like after hours because like that's when we like get to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
because
Right.
the whole night, we taking care of business, and then after that, that's when we go have our fun. So,
Job's done. Yeah, but if we go out, you're gonna have to put in like a PTO day or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, yeah,
like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't end up like Z. Z goes out bad
Yeah, don't do
sometimes.
that.
The problem is the whole night we're standing on couches,
right.
and then at like 1 in the morning,
Once you
Z
sit
sitting
down
on the couch all night.
it's down.
Yo,
It'd be
Yeah.
like sleeping on the couch.
It be like that sometimes,
Yeah.
but like you'd be surprised how much stuff we see in the club, like just people just slumped over, or
Yeah.
you gotta think about it, bro. It's alcohol, bright lights. I like to say alcohol, bright lights, and loud music is a crazy motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
because
Yes, it is.
You got people throwing up, you got people
Oh,
fighting,
man.
you got people like sitting down, slumped out. Like it just the club business is like those things together can get dangerous and
Oh,
can
yeah.
get
That's a scary
tricky.
thing too. Like owning a club, like you gotta think about. We talked to the bar owner last week that we talked to, like the liability of it all.
Right.
Yes.
Insurance.
You're
He was
dealing with
serious
people. You're
about
dealing with
that.
people drinking. You're dealing
Mhm.
with people potentially fighting. You're dealing
Yeah.
with
Right.
people trying to leave and drive home. Like
Yeah.
when you own a bar, you got to think about all that extra
I mean,
shit.
everything,
Kind of
bro.
takes the fun away from it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
right.
But
You're almost on pins and needles, basically, every time you from open to close, just
Yeah.
to like
Right.
making sure everything goes smooth as possible. Because you never, once the alcohol starts flowing,
Yeah.
it's who knows what
Absolutely.
happens.
Right.
so.
It could go
You don't
south
know when
quick.
to stop.
That's what
Yeah.
the bar owner we talked to, he actually lived above the bar that he owns. He said like he could almost feel a bad vibe when he was upstairs.
From
Not even when he was in the
upstairs,
in the bar. Like he could just feel like
Mhm.
something was
Something
off
was
because
going
you're
on.
always
Yeah,
on
you're there.
pins and needles, like worrying about. God forbid somebody drinks too much and drives home.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're liable for that, which is
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous, but you know,
It comes with the business.
It comes with
Yeah,
the
it
business.
does.
So what do you
sure.
guys got coming up
And you
in
ain't
the
turning
future?
away business.
You got Roar on Fridays.
Roar
You got
every
anything else
Friday.
lined up like
We work
in the
with
next month or so? Summer's gonna be
yeah,
big
we're
this year.
looking. Yeah, we're looking to do a few things lined up. Whether it's some stuff down the shore, some maybe a festival or something. Just
That'd be
working with a
Mhm.
venue called the Winston. They have a lot of things. Winston on the Water.
Where's that at? That's in
Right
Philly?
on, right
Yeah,
on
on
3rd
Front
Street.
Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Water's on Front Street and the Winston's on 3rd Street.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I've never been there. We gotta go there.
Yeah,
so
nah, it's,
if you go there, stay standing on couches at the door, and they'll help you out.
They
They'll help
give you
you
a
out.
good time.
They'll help
The
you out.
hospitality's high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
for
one of
sure.
the premier spots we're looking to work with in the city. And then a few other lounges. Other Noto is another big club. They got a lot of things lined up. We're kind of partnership with them. And just kind of looking to coordinate our own events, really private events. Weather's starting to break, so
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
it's nice out.
that. Yeah.
Right.
We're looking for a big summer this year, so I'm
Yeah,
sure we'll
big
line something
summer
up with
this
you
year.
guys
Ah,
at,
sure.
at some point. Hopefully,
Standing
a
on
couple
podcast.
things.
Yeah,
I love
that'd
it.
be a big one.
That would be
For sure.
dope. But
Yeah,
what's your
fuck with it.
Instagram for everybody so they can follow you, stay tuned in with everything?
Yes.
So my Instagram is at LukeBender_3, or at LukeBender_SOC.
There you
And
go.
our Instagram is at Standing on Couches. Follow us for keep up on #1 trusted nightlife in Philly and what we got going on.
I love it.
My Instagram is at Nate Council SOC. Follow me, reach out to me. Even if you just got questions, even if you just want to talk, even if you whatever. I'm always willing to talk, always willing to give free game, always willing to help, and always if I can't do it, I probably know somebody that can do it, and we'll get it figured out.
And we're looking for ambassadors as well. So if you know prior nightlife experience, if you want to get into the kind of networking space and figure out some stuff out, make a couple dollars on the side while you can come out and have a good time. We're always looking for ambassadors to help the brand. So if you're interested, contact one of us, contact the Instagram, and we can figure something out for y'all.
And you guys got merch? Is the merch live? They can buy the merch? I got some, so you can see me wearing it. But
we're working on it. Yeah, working on like the
awesome.
IG
They gotta
shop
grab that because it's just dope.
Yeah.
I'll post a picture and what I got. It's definitely fire. But
So I appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys coming out, man. Standing on couches. Growing Pains podcast, man. It's
I just want to say I appreciate y'all for having us on here.
Absolutely.
This is a hard thing to do. A lot of people don't really understand that. And I love how professional it is. I love how smooth it was. And I just want to say I appreciate y'all and keep doing y'all thing.
Yeah,
if y'all need any parties, anything, we got y'all.
We're gonna make it happen. You're gonna see us. We're gonna be together for sure this summer. It's gonna be a big summer.
Appreciate the opportunity again. And tune in, man. Tune in to Stand on Couches. Tune in to Growing Pains podcast. Big things coming up.
Check it out.
And don't sit in the club.
Yeah.